diving into something pretty deep.
Yeah, some might even say divine.
Yeah, exactly. We're looking at a few lines from the Gospel of Matthew.
Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30 to be precise.
Right on. So these verses are pretty famous. I mean, even folks who aren't super religious have heard them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's Jesus speaking and, offering comfort and an invitation to folks.
Exactly. And what's interesting is how much these words have resonated with people, like across cultures and time periods.
Totally. So that's what we're going to dig into today. Why these words in particular have had such a lasting impact.
Love it. So to kick things off, why don't we actually hear the passage? Just let the words kind of sink in for a sec.
That's good.
All right. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Okay, so a lot to unpack there. We got weary and burdened and give you rest, and then take my yoke and learn from me.
It's kind of like a riddle almost, right?
Here, totally. Where do we even start with this?
Well, I think maybe the best place to start is with this image of the yoke.
Okay, the yoke.
Yeah. So back in the day, in Jesus' time, a yoke was this wooden frame. They used it to harness oxen together for plowing.
Oh, right.
So you got to picture it, this heavy, often uncomfortable thing, like a real symbol of toil and labor.
So when Jesus says, take my yoke upon you, he's obviously not talking about an actual wooden yoke, right?
Right. It's a metaphor. And it's a powerful one. He's saying, hey, I'm here to help carry your troubles, to share your burdens.
Okay, I'm with you so far. But there's more to it, right?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Because he's not just offering to kind of lighten the load. It's deeper than that. He's actually offering a totally different way of carrying it.
And that's where the whole learn from me part comes in.
Mingo. It's not just about feeling better in the moment. It's about learning a whole new way to approach those tough things in life.
So what do you think he meant by that? Like, what was he getting at with learn from me?
Well, it makes me think that true rest doesn't just come from having fewer burdens, but from an internal shift.
Like changing your perspective.
Exactly. A whole different way of handling things. And we see this kind of thread throughout Matthew's gospel.
Oh, interesting. Give me an example.
Well, like the Beatitudes, for instance, where Jesus blesses the meek and the merciful.
Right.
Or the parable of the Good Samaritan, where he totally challenges how we define neighbor.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's all pointing to a way of life,
Yeah.
one that puts humility and compassion and service first.
So it's like he's saying, hey, don't just come to me for a quick fix. Come learn how to live differently so those burdens don't crush you.
You got it. It's about finding a deeper, more lasting kind of rest.
Really powerful stuff.
It really is. And this idea has been super influential over the centuries, but there are some common misunderstandings.
Oh, really? Like what?
Well, some people think this passage is promising a problem-free life.
Yeah.
Like if you just follow Jesus, everything will be sunshine and roses.
Yeah, I could see how folks might interpret it that way.
But that's not really the point. Life's always going to have its ups and downs. This passage is more about offering a way to go through those tough times.
With more grace.
Yeah, exactly. More resilience. It's about finding that inner peace, even when things are falling apart around you.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So how does all this connect with us today?
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of burdens are we carrying around in the 21st century that might fit into this metaphor?
Oh, man, where do we even begin? We've got the pressures of work and relationships and finances. Then there's the constant flood of information and social media.
It's a lot.
It really is. But you know what? This passage reminds us that there's a different way to be, a path to finding peace in the middle of all the chaos.
It's so easy to get swept up in it all, isn't it?
Totally. But we don't have to let those burdens define us.
So, listener, let's get real for a second. What part of this passage speaks to you?
Yeah.
What's that heavy thing you're carrying that you think could be made lighter by learning from a gentle and humble heart?
Right. What would that even look like for you in your everyday life?
It's a big question, but I think it's one worth pondering.
It really is. If Jesus is offering a specific path to this inner peace, to this genuine rest, what would you need to learn or change to walk that path?
And what would you need to let go of?
Some heavy stuff to think about.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everybody.
I always appreciate you listening.
And hey, if you're really digging this passage, I encourage you to check out the rest of the Gospel of Matthew.
Yeah, you never know what other gems you might find.
All right, we'll catch you on the next deep dive.